But my mom like didn't even hesitate or anything and be like, oh, he looks like he's really a sunshine boy.
Okay, you've never told me this, so I'm discovering this right now. That's what you're...
Beautiful Hakka family!
Welcome back to another video.
We promised you guys that we're going to start doing 2 videos a week. So yesterday we did an reaction video. Hope you all check it out. If you haven't, make sure you check it out on the link up there. And today we are going to do a video that you guys requested so much since the beginning, and that is...
Well, because we're an interracial couple, people are curious to know about our family reactions. So today we're gonna just tell you a story of how we basically told our parents and how they reacted to me having a Chinese girlfriend.
Yeah, and me having an Indian boyfriend. Before we start, we would like to thank each one of you out there, and make sure if you enjoy this video, hit a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Share this video, follow our Instagram and our Facebook page.
And make sure you guys turn on the bell notification so you never miss our next video.
Yes, and we are anxiously waiting for our community tab to turn on for our YouTube channel so that we can connect with more of you.
So you guys might be wondering, who was the first one to actually tell their parents?
What's your guess? So if you guessed it, it's him, then you're correct.
Yes. Well, the first person I told was my mom. I just messaged her over WhatsApp and I was like, Mom, I have to tell you something. This was, I believe, a month and a half or 2 after we started dating. You know, I had to be sure that she was actually my girlfriend, so I just waited for 2 months to see. Called her up and I was like, Mom, I have to tell you something. Yes. Well, I have a Chinese girlfriend. So her reaction was basically like, is she feeding you well? Is she taking care of you? If she is, I'm happy. I don't mind. She's Chinese, she's whatever. As long as she keeps you happy, I am happy. And that was my mom's reaction.
Every mother's concern.
And my mom's always been good at judging previous relationships, girls I've ever liked. And she's always been correct about that. Including this one, she's actually been quite correct. She told me that, Bhavan, Summer seems like an amazing woman and she's definitely going to take care of you. And since that time, it's actually been quite true.
Thank you, Zack's mom.
And then I told my dad when I visited India. Actually, I wanted to tell my dad personally, so I told my mom not to tell my dad because I wanted to personally tell him that. My dad was just sitting on the bed watching TV and I'm like, Dad, I have to tell you something very important. He's like, you getting married? I'm like,
that is always so straightforward, yeah.
Not yet, but I did find a girlfriend. He's like, no wonder I've been seeing your WhatsApp pictures with this new girl. I was like, who the hell is this new girl every time I see?
Why haven't he told me anything about it yet?
And my dad was a little upset that I told him a little later, but I really wanted to personally give him the message. So I was like, Dad, I wanted to give it to you in person.
So was your dad really surprised? Like, you remember your dad's facial expressions when you told him that?
Well, he was like, so this is the first thing he told me. He's like, why did you find a Chinese girl? You're in Canada, you didn't find any Indian girls though? Are you not too much into Indian girls? I'm like, Dad, I'm not looking to get into a relationship with a certain caste or a certain this thing. We met, we liked each other, and that's how I fell for her. Simple. So my dad was like, okay, you know, if you're happy, I'm happy. And yeah, that was basically my dad's reaction. What about yours?
So yours is 1-2 months. Mine must be like 3 months, I think. So same reason. I want to make sure that, you know, this is an actual thing. I started talking to my mom on WeChat casually. I'd be like, oh, you know, Mom, so my mom asked me, how are you doing lately? And I said, oh, it's been good. Like, I go to different parties with friends, and I met a bunch of new friends. And my mom is like, oh, that's good. I'm happy that you are enjoying your life there. But my question is, any boys? With like a curious emoji, and there's a cue in my hand be like, oh my god, this is a perfect opportunity to tell my mom that I met a boy. So I just smoothed right in and I'd be like, actually Mom, yes, there is a guy that I wanted to talk to you about because we've been talking for some times and I think he likes me and I think I like him too, and I want to see how this thing goes, so I want to tell you about it. But my mom was like getting so excited and sent me like tons of emojis of like dancing, singing, jumping around, and be like, oh my god, congratulations, finally you're finding yourself a guy. And my mom said, can I see his pictures? So I sent it to my mom. My mom is like, ooh, and I said, oh, he's from India. So I was actually a little bit not sure, scared when I tell my mom that, because I don't know how my mom is gonna react. But my mom like didn't even hesitate or anything and be like, oh, he looks like he's really a sunshine boy.
Okay, you've never told me this. So I'm discovering this right now. That's what your mother said?
That's the whole point of this video. We're discovering new things about each other. So yeah, and my mom is like, he seems like he's really down to earth, really nice, really vibrant. I like him.
What about your dad?
Actually, guys, it's funny because I told my mom, and I assume that my mom is gonna tell my dad. So I never get to know the reaction that my dad has when he first heard the news. Actually, the first time that I talked to my dad about this is when we video chat after I talked to my mom about that. And my dad was really calm. My dad's in general, he's a really calm person no matter what. I feel like if the sky is falling down, my dad would be like, oh, the sky is falling down, okay.
Let me just finish my white wine.
Cool. Yeah, my dad is that kind of person. So he said, oh, you know, it's good. Your mom showed me the picture. It's very good that you guys started to, you know, taking care of each other in Canada. Like, we're worried that you are in a foreign country. Now you guys can take care of each other. We're glad of that. But how you guys gonna deal with the cultural differences? So that's something that my dad start talking to me after he know about that. So he talked to me more about, you know, how to cope with the cultural differences and all of that. Yeah. So more like on the practical side, I guess. I guess all dads can relate.
My mom was fairly happy. She saw your picture and she was like, she looks really beautiful. She actually is very beautiful. My dad said the same thing as well. My dad's like, it's good you guys are actually there for each other now. We're not so much worried about you because you have a good you have a good person with you.
That we can take care of each other when our parents are far away.
Well, this was not exactly our expectations. For me, our expectation was my parents are gonna freak out. But I should have, but I think I should have known better because my parents are again from two different castes, Hindu and Catholic. So it was fairly easier, I guess, for them as a news. The reality was quite shocking for the both of us because
yeah, I guess. Especially because for my mom, because considering like how there are not many positive images of India in China, so I'm quite surprised too as well. Because I would thought that, you know, they'd probably be like concerned or ask me a lot of questions, but they didn't even hesitate and they just really happy and really excited. Especially my mom, she's really happy that I finally find someone.
Basically, my first experience meeting Summer's family was meeting her grandparents because her grandparents were here in Canada. What
was your expectation when you first met our grandparents? My grandparents.
So I was excited. She was very scared. She was like, please don't do this, please don't do that, please don't do this.
Yeah, I was trying to give him like a lecture, like a proper lecture on things. I was really scared that he would mess up.
And I was like, baby, don't worry, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I believe in myself. I can do this. They're only humans.
And he said, I believe in my charms.
Yeah.
All grandparents love, all old aunties and uncles love me. Don't worry.
And the moment we knocked on the door, Grandma opened the door. Grandpa was standing behind her. Grandma just left everything, ignored Summer, and comes and hugs me.
A super tight and big hug, you guys, and we're not even exaggerating. And I stood beside him. I was like, oh, this was not what I was expecting at all.
And Grandpa and me, we just shook hands, you know, just said hi.
Yeah.
And they basically called me Xiaojia.
Xiaojia. So Xiaojia, it's like pronunciation. It's kind of like the literal translation. I gave him that name because it's just easier for my families to call him.
Yeah. And yeah, that was actually our reaction. I told my grandparents too. My grandparents are in India. Again, my grandfather asked, why did you find the Chinese? Why couldn't you find in India? Same question again. It's usually the guys that ask the questions are the logical ones, right? Try to figure out why.
The mom is more like the emotional So
Yeah.
yeah.
I know a lot of people were wondering.
We actually did got a few comments from different subscribers that they have either a Chinese girlfriend or an Indian boyfriend or a girlfriend boyfriend from different cultural backgrounds, and they want to ask us like how do we deal with the parent situations. So yeah, here are some of the tips that we hope will be helpful for some of you out there.
We're no experts in this, and
We'll just talk
yeah.
based on our experiences.
Yes, and I would suggest you need to talk positively about your partner. First of all, you need to talk to your parents about this. You need to talk to them. I know it's a little tough. I know it can be a little scary, but they will know sooner or later. And the later you hold it, the more it might get worse. So it's better to always talk to them first.
Yeah.
You know, and slowly by slowly actually show them, you know, how happy you guys are together.
Yeah. Actually, when we first started dating, I always show my mom pictures and we go on dates. Just because, like, they probably don't have the chance to see them in person as soon as you tell them the news. So it's always a good idea to show them some pictures and some videos, you know, of you guys spending time together, doing fun things. Because parents want their daughters and sons to be happy with the one they find. So when they see that you are really happy with each other, then they'll be happy.
Now again, not a lot of cultures are so open-minded, but again, it was our life. We were gonna spend our time together,
Yeah.
and our parents did understand the fact that, you know, this is our lives. They have no control over our lives.
Yeah.
We're gonna be the ones that are gonna be making all the decisions, and that's the reason why they were okay with it. I realized that this woman's actually there for me, and she always will be. And I made my parents realize that too, because I kept talking about her to them. I kept saying all the good things to them, and they started realizing too.
Yeah, same for me. So whenever my mom have some questions about him, or do we have any conflicts, cultural conflicts, any arguments, and of course we're from two cultural backgrounds, there will be some differences, but it's not about that. It's about how do we cope with them, right? So that's what the parents are more concerned about.
And her family was always concerned about me, whether I was working or not, whether, you know, I had a job or not. And when I met her at that time, I'd never had a job, but she did mention it to her family that I'm very enthusiastic and I'm very
motivated,
you know, motivated,
goal driven. So I always emphasize that to my parents whenever they talk about that. And I said I have no doubts of him finding a full-time job that's he's really passionate about. I'm sure that once he finds a full-time job, he's going to go all the way up.
And that's something that kind of cushioned her mom, you know, to be a little okay with it. So been talking about how was their reaction when we first time met them in person, which would be another video for sure, guys.
This is just like what we're going
tip
to
of the iceberg. We will give you guys more stories about what's going on. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys leave a like down below and comment about what you thought. If you have any questions, we'll try our best to actually answer them as well for you guys.
We understand what you guys, the anxiety and the stress that when you first start an interracial relationship. So we're here to answer your questions.
Alright guys, thank you so much guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys. Bye.